how you doing? This is TV and School. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, бойські дівчиська.
Hello again. Welcome to the English lesson. My name is Natalia Leszko. Let's start. So, we continue talking about sports and let's check the homework. I asked you to complete the table about sports, equipment and people. So, let's check. Have a look. I'm a good girl. I have prepared all the answers for you. So, let's name all the words. So, cricket, repeat after me. Cricket, cricketer, a bat. Let's go with the next one. Athletics, athlete, trainers. Boxing, boxer, boxing gloves. Snorkeling, snorkeler, a wetsuit. Ice hockey, ice hockey player, skates, and the park. Football, footballer, a football. Snowboarding, snowboarder, a snowboard. Okay, so as you see, ice hockey, we don't have a special word for a person who plays ice hockey. We just call him ice hockey player. Or if it is obvious from the context that you are talking about ice hockey, you can just say a player. Let's look at the snorkeling, for example. There is a word, snorkeler, or snowboarding, snowboarder. Now I would like you to think about a very interesting word like yoga. So let me write it down. The name of the sport is yoga. What do we need for yoga? Do you remember? A mat. Well done. So I'll write it here. A mat. We can also mention the clothes that we need for yoga. Leggings, a t-shirt. We don't need any trainers. Usually you just wear the socks or you are barefoot. But what about the person who does yoga? We call it yogi. This is interesting word. Yoga, yogi. So, a yogi does yoga. This is amazing. So repeat after me. A yogi. Again, a yogi. Well done. And the sentence, a yogi does yoga. And let's add an equipment. A yogi does yoga on a mat or using a mat. Let's try with a snowboarder. So, a snowboarder goes snowboarding using a snowboard. Well done. Let's try with a footballer. A footballer plays football using a football. Interesting. And let's try with a boxer. A boxer does boxing using boxing gloves or wearing boxing gloves. Well done. Now let's move on. Have a look at the picture. What can you see? I can see boys and girls. I can see two huge balls. One is white and one is red. So I can see a word in Japan. Health and Sports Day in Japan. So probably these are Japanese people or Japanese kids, right? What are they doing? So as you see, they are pushing these huge balls. So it looks to me like a competition. And if we look at the name, Health and Sports Day in Japan, so this is probably a sports competition just to keep healthy for the kids. Now, let's think about two questions that you would like to know about this text, about Health and Sports Day in Japan. Two questions. So, probably the date, when did they start? Okay, having this sports day? So let's write it down. Number one is a date, and what are the activities, right? What are they doing? What is the day about? Now, let's listen to the text and read the text and try to find the answers for these two questions. Let's go.
Health and Sports Day in Japan by Koki Shiono. Here in Japan, we're very keen on sports. In fact, we even have a national holiday to celebrate our love of sports. It's called Health and Sports Day, and it takes place every year on the second Monday in October. Japanese people have been celebrating this day since 1966. It commemorates the opening of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo 2 years before in 1964. On Health and Sports Day, most schools hold their annual field day. It's like a mini Olympics. Students compete in teams and take part in a huge variety of events. I've always enjoyed field day at my school, and this year was no different. The day began with a parade of all the teams. Then, all of the competitors spread out across a field for group stretching. During the day, we competed in many traditional track and field events, like the 100-meter sprint and the long jump, but we did some unique Japanese games too. For example, in Tamaira, large teams have 2 to 3 minutes to throw as many small beanbags as possible into a basket at the top of a tall pole. And in Otama Korogashi, teams of 2 have to roll a giant ball through an obstacle course. Health and Sports Day isn't just for kids. It promotes an active lifestyle for people of all ages. Actually, there were some special events for parents at my school too. My dad didn't compete because he had a headache, but I think that was just an excuse. Anyway, the whole day was a lot of fun. I can't wait for next year.
So, let's look at these two questions. The first one was about the date. When do we have this Health and Sport Day in Japan? Did you find the information in the text? Right, so it started when? 1966. And when do they hold it? They have it on the second Monday in October. So, second Monday, October. What about the activities? What do they usually do? So this is like mini Olympics, right? According to the text. They call it a field day. What is a field? Pole. So a lot of teams, they compete in different activities. So they have many events and different games. So here, it was mentioned in the text, Otama Korogashi team, so they were pushing a giant ball, rolling a giant ball. And what else? For example, in Tamaira, large teams have 2-3 minutes to throw as many small beanbags. So these are very unusual sport activities that can be played or that can be held during these sports and health days in Japan. Now, let's have more detailed questions. So this is a task for you. We're going to answer these 3 questions. Let's start with number 1. When was the first Health and Sports Day in Japan? And we have 3 possible answers. A, 1962, B, 1964, and C, 1966. I guess this is easy because you have a hint on the board, right? Yes, the correct answer is C, 1966. Let's find the information in the text. Have a look. Japanese people have been celebrating this day since 1966. Well done. Let's go with sentence number 2. Have a look. In Tamaira, competitors play A, individually, B, in big groups, C, in teams of 2. Do you remember? What is the correct answer? B, in big groups. Let's check with the text. Have a look. For example, in Tamaira, large teams have 2-3 minutes to throw as many small bean bags as possible into a basket at the top of the tall pole. So we have the word large teams. Large is similar to big. Let's move on with number 3. Koki, this is the person who writes the text. So Koki believes that his father, A, wasn't really ill, B, wanted to compete, C, wasn't feeling well. So we're talking about the end of the text when Koki was talking about parents who participated in the Health and Sports Day. He said that his father didn't compete. So what was the reason? He wasn't really ill, wanted to compete, or wasn't feeling well? Do you remember? He wasn't really ill. Koki mentioned that his father, had a headache. Let's look at the text. My dad didn't compete because he had a headache. But I think that was just an excuse. If you look at the word an excuse, вибачення, you know the phrase, excuse me, right? So the phrase to have an excuse means знайти виправдання. So his dad found an excuse, a headache. We can't check that he actually had a headache, but probably Koki felt that his father is not actually having a headache. He's kind of lying or hiding his real reasons. It's better not to lie and say the truth. Sorry, I don't want to compete, or I don't want to join you for this event because I don't feel comfortable. It's better than to lie, right? Okay, let's move on. So, now there is going to be a task for you, and we are going to create our own Health and Sports Day. So, first of all, think about it and focus on this criteria. So, name of the day, audience, who is going to participate, kids, parents, both, classmates, is it going to be a school day or a general, all-around Ukraine day? Think about these things. Think about the particular day when you're going to have it. Month, day of the week is going to be a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Think about this. And activities. Also, you can add any extra information that is needed. I give you 1 minute to think about this, and then we come back and discuss my day we're going to create together, and you compare it to your day. So 1 minute and we go back. So, let's go back to the lesson. I hope that you have some ideas. So let's start with the name. Let's create together. I can't hear you, so let me think about suggested answers that you can have. First of all, we are going to draw a picture. We're going to create a mind map, and then we're going to write a text. Let's start with a mind map. The name of the sports day. Health and Sports Day in Kiev, or Health and Sports Day in your place. Poltava, Kharkiv, Odessa, Gadich, any other places that you can just name your place of living. So, I'm here based in Kiev. I'm going to use this name. So, this is the name of our event. Let's go with the audience. Who is going to participate? I think that for the kids it's going to be interesting, but I also want to involve some parents to practice, right? This is very healthy to do some exercises from time to time and spend your time together with your families, with the kids. So I'm going to choose both kids and their parents, so families. As I mentioned, I'm going to create a mind map. So kids, parents and families, how can you draw this? Who's this, a boy or a girl? So these are the kids, and we need parents. My drawing is not that beautiful, and actually this is not a drawing lesson. You can use very simple drawings. Використовуйте дуже прості малюнки, схематично зобразити інформацію, яка вам потрібна. So, kids, parents or families. Kids and adults. I have this and I can understand from the picture. So it's okay. Let's go with the day. When I want this event to happen? I will definitely choose the weekend. And I also love when the weather is sunny and you can easily relax, the weather is warm. So something like September and May, like this. So let's choose. So let's have it twice a year. Twice a year means 2 times. So first of all, September, and then May. So beginning and the ending of the school year, academic year. September and May, and I also want to mention weekend. Let's have it here. Weekend, this is important. So Saturday or Sunday. Let's draw the picture. So this is like a calendar, right? I will write here these numbers, number 9 and number 5. What does it mean? Number 9 is September, number 5, May. Well done. And I want to mark that this should be weekend. Weekend, these are 2 last days in a week, Saturday or Sunday. So let me color it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 and 7. Do you remember all the days of the weeks? Let's revise. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Well done. Can you understand from the picture the information? So we have months, September, May. We have the weekend. What's missing? Bravo. Twice a year. So I'm going to do like this. Twice. And actually from this slash means that probably September or May. So we can change it to comma. Instead of a slash, we have a comma. September and May. Okay? Let's move on. Activities. This is the most interesting part. So, what are we going to have? Definitely football. Do you agree? I would love to have a competition between the kids and the adults, the parents. So, probably boys and girls play versus their moms and dads. This is going to be interesting. Or we can divide this competition into 2 separate parts. The boys' competition, so boys and their dads, and the women competition, like male and female, the girls. The girls and their moms. So what is the most interesting for you? Mixed teams or separate? I left mixed. What about you? Let's go with mixed. So this is going to be a big part. Let's start with activities. First of all, football. So let's go. As I mentioned, mixed teams. So do you remember? I have drawn kids like this. I'm going to repeat the drawings. Kids versus adults. Good. So I have mixed teams. If you think that mixed teams is not a good idea, it's better to play in separate teams, so probably you will draw just boys versus their dads or girls versus their moms. Okay? If you don't think that having adults is a good idea, so just mention the information like boys versus girls. This is also possible. Let's move on. So we have football. What else can we play? I like the idea from the Japanese sports day. It's like rolling the huge balls. Of course, we need some time to create those huge balls. But this is a very nice activity. This is very interesting. This is so much fun. So let's name it. Ball roller. Let's be like this. Okay? Let's draw it. Huge ball. And we have little kids and little parents. Who are pushing this ball with their hands. They're trying to roll it. Huge balls. Okay? I already see these people trying to roll these huge balls. This is going to be so much fun. What else? Football. We have a ball roller. Anything interesting? Yoga, probably. Or probably, if we think about snorkeling, I love snorkeling, but unfortunately we can't have it everywhere, and the water can be cold in September, in May. So I would suggest that we have snorkeling running. What's this? So you're actually dressed like a snorkeler, you're wearing flippers, you can wear a wetsuit, but this is not necessary. What is necessary is flippers, goggles, a snorkel, and probably a swim ring, and you try to run wearing all this equipment. This is going to be also so much fun. So let's use it. Snorkeling, running. Or snorkeling run. Let's change it to snorkeling run. Okay? So let's draw it. This is going to be interesting. So a person who is wearing goggles and a snorkel. Also, the person is wearing flippers and a swim ring, like this, right? And the person needs to run very fast. So my picture is going to be like this. It's funny, I'm sorry, I'm not a drawing teacher, but you can understand goggles, snorkel, swim ring, and flippers. And we are not underwater, so as you see, we are on the land. So these are the activities I want to use. So as you see, I have an extra line here. It means that you can add any important information. To my project, I want to add that this is the free day. You don't need to pay anything to participate in these competitions. So let's write it. So we write the word free, which means no money involved. You don't need to buy any tickets. You don't need to pay anything. And I would like also to mention, since it's going to be a long day with all these activities, so food is included. food included. Or you can also allow your families to have barbecues, little picnics. Be careful with this. If you mention barbecue, it means that you allow the families to have a fire. I wouldn't suggest that this is a good idea, so probably a picnic is better. Picnic means that you have a mat and you sit down and have your sandwiches or snacks, you drink some juice, some water, eat some apples, bananas. So it's a picnic but without fire. So it's health day and it's very safe. It shouldn't be dangerous. So our mind map is ready. So we have all the important information, we have the name, we have the audience, we have the dates, the activities, and the information needed. Now we need to write, to describe the project. So put everything into words, to have it as a text. So this is going to be a homework, and you can also send your projects to me directly. So now you can see my email address on the screen. This is natalia.schoolonline@gmail.com. You can send me your mind maps with the words mentioned, because from the pictures you don't actually understand everything, or you can send me the whole text. And I'm going to check it and mention it in our lessons. So, again, homework, write the text or complete the project on Health and Sports Day in your place. And I hear the bell ringing. It means that we need to stop the lesson. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.